Hello everybody, welcome back to my middle-aged man silly YouTube video thing that I've got going on. But you know what, I'm trying. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm stupid. I'm not like these young people, these technophobes. Is that what they call it? People who were born after 1985. What do they call them? What are they called? Anyway, I'll find out later. Millenniums, that's it. I ain't a millennium. I'm a bloody dinosaur. I remember the world before technology and all that. So yeah, bear with me. I'm not here to impress you. I'm not here to work it PC world or try and sell you the latest technology, because I don't know what I'm bloody doing. But I do know that the world is literally upside down. Today in this video, we're going to talk about concerns with the barracks that we have in Scotland. And 300 men, asylum seekers, will be inhabiting that space. And I've done a video about this. It's apparently going to happen in December, when the 300 men go to the army barracks in Scotland. And people aren't happy about it. When I say people, I mean people who live in that area. And in this video, we're going to find out what people's concerns are with illegal immigrants coming in to their little village and town, and there's going to be 300 of them. So let's find out what's going on, starting right now.
Analyzing the news.
Right, here we are. We're back in play, guys. I got the music going to make it a little bit more dramatic, but I'll turn that down. Sounds like a bloody radio DJ show, doesn't it? I used to be a DJ years ago, but it was for like a local radio station. But yeah, obviously I don't do it anymore because it went bust. Maybe because I wasn't that good at it, to be fair. But anyway, let's have a look. Okay, so the Cameron Barracks, if you've not heard about it, if you haven't, I'm sure you'll find out very soon, because it's all kicking off. A lot of people aren't happy, especially the locals. So welcome back. Today we're diving into something a little bit heavy, but don't worry, it's all real talk, and you'll get to drop your thoughts into, which is really important. I want to know exactly what your thoughts on and around all this situation, because obviously it affects you as well. Here is the scene right in the heart of Inverness, just a minute from the high street. 150-year-old military barracks, yep, possibly haunted by some sort of pipe bands. Scotland is about to become home to around 300 seeking asylum seekers. And I must stress, these aren't women and children. These are men. Now, the big question, how do the locals feel about this? What are their concerns and what's going on behind the scenes? So stick around, and please, I can't stress this enough, comment your thoughts as we go through each part, because I want to hear what you have to say, because your perspective and your point of view is valid, even though you wouldn't think that, because it doesn't really matter what we say anymore. They're just going to do what they want. And when I say they, I'm talking about the people who rule this world, the people in power, the government. Okay, so let's check this out before we go there. There's big concerns, because obviously something else is coming in the news as well, and which is about this guy here. Is it up? Well, that's not it. Where is it? Let me find it for you. Okay, let me share my screen, because I want to show you something when I can bloody do it. Where is it? Bear with me. Remember, I'm not that great at technology. I know you can see a nice little beach there, so you can use your imagination and yeah, pretend you're on holiday. Right, it should have come up now. Can you see it? Right, so this is from Sky News. It's a small boat migrant who stabbed man to death in Derby Bank is jailed. Can you see that? Let's see what it says. Okay, this was all over the news just recently. Haby, sorry if I'm not pronouncing his name, but he doesn't deserve respect anyway. He's a murderer. Haby Kaboderax man, Nur, pleaded guilty to the murder of Govinda Sai Joal, 37, at Derby Crown Court in August. So that was this year, 2025. The 47-year-old stabbed Mr. Joal at random, flipping heck, for no reason. It wasn't premeditated. He just sort of thought, I'm going to stab you. And this was shortly after angrily complaining about his refused asylum application. Lunacy, and that's him there, okay? Now, he's here today, gone tomorrow, because since then, there's been more stabbings. It says here, a small boat migrant who stabbed a man to death in the High Street Bank has been jailed for life with a minimum term of 25 years. So there you go. But he was an immigrant, an illegal immigrant. And he was trying to get asylum, but he was refused it for whatever reason. Obviously, if he's going to be doing things like that, then there you go. So that guy was just doing his job, and then he got stabbed. But again, this isn't really about that. This is about the opinion of other people who live in the area of the barracks. So let's have a look at that and find out what's going on. Right, so I've got some information here about the people who live in Inverness and what is happening. So let's look at the facts first. The government has announced that the old barracks, the Cameron ones in Inverness, Scotland, will be used for transitional, this is what they said, transitional accommodation for 300 male asylum seekers starting as early as 2025. A military site built in the 1870s. The local council said they were only given confidential notice, and they'll still be waiting for full details. So they're saying, the council, oh, we don't know everything yet, we've just been told this is what's happening. And I'm like, wait a minute, you're the bloody council, aren't you? Shouldn't you be, aren't you the gateway? Aren't you the one who says yes or no? But no, apparently they're just, they don't know what they're doing, even though it's gone through them. So local concerns, community cohesion. One of the biggest concerns from the locals is community cohesion. That means, will the arrival of 300 people change how the local community works? Will services cope? Will people feel excluded and left behind? And to be fair, that's what's been happening, because they've not really been asked, have they? It's just happening. There's also worry about the locals asked what they think first. So they were like, well, why didn't you ask us? If you said, we're thinking of bringing 300 illegal asylum seekers into the barracks, are you okay with that? I can guarantee they all would have said no, right? You might get the odd person say, okay, but the majority would have said no, right? So I think because the council know that, what do? They said, well, don't ask him, just announce it. We'll just announce it. That means we're going to do it, and we don't care what you think. Shh. Unfortunately, that's the way of the world, isn't it? But it doesn't have to be like that. It really doesn't. So there you go. So people have got concerns with it, and there are a few of them. Oh, crazy stuff. What do you think? How would you feel if that happened to you? In your little place where you live, you might live in a nice area. How would you feel if suddenly it just got announced that they're bringing 300 illegal migrants into your area? When I say illegal migrants, let's change the wording. 300 men that nobody knows anything about, right? They come from somewhere else. They're going to have a history. It could be positive, but I imagine it's not, because you wouldn't run away from your country if you're an upstanding citizen who's got drive, focus, and you're usually thingy, aren't you? And that's what's happening, and that's why people are concerned, because they've got kids, right? And yeah. And like I say, we looked at the news before and we saw that guy who stabbed that fella because he was refused asylum. That just shows you, doesn't it, of what world we live in now and what people are like. Scary stuff, isn't it? Let's get a picture of him. Here he is. I know you've seen that before, but I just want you to see that. So this guy came into the country. He wanted on a boat. He wanted asylum. They said no, for whatever reason. So then he decided to murder the guy who said no. That's not good, is it? There's no words for it, really. What do you say about that? What are your thoughts on it? Do you think that's reasonable? No, of course not. It's lunacy. It's absolute lunacy, and that's the world we live in, unfortunately. Okay, so the people who live in Inverness now, they're not happy at all. Some people, very few, they're the ones who get put on the camera on the BBC when they do the news. They're like, okay, we think it's a good thing, because obviously we all know the media has an agenda. We know that, right? Because they're not telling you the full broad scope of things. They'll film someone who's got an idea which falls in alignment with what they're trying to push, right? If anyone says, I'm not happy about this, BBC, I'm not getting you on the camera then, right? I want the person who's going to say, yeah, I'm happy with this. Bring more the merrier, okay? Because it suits an agenda, okay? Whatever that agenda is, I don't know. But that we know that. Because on the news, on the mainstream news, and everyone's waking up to that now, you never see a broadened perspective of everything. You don't see every person's thoughts. You just see a certain group's thoughts. And that's great, because you want to sell the agenda, don't you? But yeah, most people are not happy about it. And why would they be? If you've got little kids, you're going to be very concerned. Very concerned. And yeah, and people in Inverness are very concerned, and rightfully so. Why wouldn't they be? That's their home. They live there. That's their community. And now 300 strangers are coming in. Men, remember, middle-aged, not even middle-aged men, 30-year-old, between 25 and 35-year-old, 40-year. The fit, strong army men, I mean, and that their moral compass of the world is nothing like yours, right? Because of where they're from, the way they've been, how they came into this world. What I mean by that, we're all conditioned by values, beliefs, but we were born on this island, and them belief systems have been installed into us all through the school system, through parenting. So we have a moral compass, okay? It's a Christian country, even though we don't follow Christian values. We don't go to church on Sunday. Some of us do, but most don't now, because all the churches are shutting down. But we all have a good certain type of moral compass. Majority of British people do. And that's what makes Great Britain. That's okay. And we're very inviting. Come into the country. We're absolutely fine with that if that's what you want to do. But you've got to play the game. That's fine. You're coming into our home. You respect it, and we'll look after you. That's great, isn't it? That's a good deal, that, isn't it, really? But is that what's going to happen? But by looking at the news, you see it all the time, that a lot of these people that are coming in are literally crazy. Literally crazy. Because we don't know who they are. But you will get some good people. I'm not saying they're all bad, because hundreds of thousands, if not millions, are coming in. And they're not all bad, obviously. But there's the few, and they're getting through. Yeah? And that's the concerning thing. And then when they're in a little small community like Inverness in Scotland, which is a very strong community, that community is gone. Because what will happen? Two things. Either the local community will all come together and they'll have meetings and they'll congregate and come together. Or, once it happens, they'll lock themselves in their own home because they're afraid to go out. They won't let the children out. And the illegal men that are coming into the country, the illegal immigrants, they won't be sitting at home. They'll be sitting in the town centre, hanging around, right? For whatever reason. And that's going to put people off. It's going to make people nervous, especially in places like that, quiet. People go there to retire. They want peace. So yeah, a lot of people aren't happy about it. And again, you can understand why. What are your thoughts? How would you feel if you were living in a nice little area, you wanted to retire or bring a family up? Because it's Cameron Barracks is a nice area, okay? It's not cheap to live there in that area. So if you've retired, you've just moved there, now suddenly 300 men that nobody knows who they are, right, are coming in. And that area is your home. What do you do? What would you do? A lot of people think I'm moving out of here. I'm not living around here. A lot of people would do that. But it's not as easy as that. You can't just say, right, do you know what? I've had enough. I'm not living here. We're moving. But can you do that? Not really. Because if you do that, what's going to happen? You've got to move somewhere else. And where you're going to move to? A different area. And then what's going to happen in that area? Or eventually the same thing. Okay? We all want peace. We all want security. We all want somewhere nice to live. We just want a peace. That's all we want. We want nice neighbours, nice community. We don't want a lot. We don't all want to win the lottery. We just want our basic needs met. Peace. But it's not going to be very peaceful there. It could be. The people that go there could be nice, but I'm talking about the way people feel at the moment, how they feel about, to them, it's what's this? This is not welcome. It doesn't matter what it is. It's like a big gang coming into your town. You're like, whoa, what's there? 300, it's a lot, okay? But like I say, they could be all positive and it could be a wonderful experience. But there is obviously a separation because you've got different religious beliefs, different values, different opinions, okay? We need to mix it and integrate it. If we can integrate it, we'll say, right, this is our culture. This is your culture. Oh, let's talk about it. And then, okay, let's learn from each other. This is great. And if it was like that, great, come along. That's why a lot of people in Britain moved to Spain, right? Because it's great. Yeah. And some people are moving to Britain because it's British. Come on. But we know that that's not happening. People aren't coming here because they love British culture. People are coming here because you can claim benefits, right? Because of our laws, right? Well, we should look into that. It's like, why did you do it? Because there's people who are British who can't even claim benefits, but asylum seekers can. And they're like, well, what is that? Is that right? No, it's lunacy, right? So why isn't that being addressed? Why is that not being talked about? It is being talked about, but we're not going to do anything about it. And then you think, well, what's the game? What is this? So then there's a mystery, a secretiveness, like something's freaking off here. We're not being told the full picture. We're being told a little bit, and that's why we're sort of like confused, okay? But that's why you should watch stuff like this, because you get further involved and informed. That's why you should comment on this video and share what your thoughts are, because I'm trying to figure it out myself. It doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. No sense. Nonsense. Okay? I was on a plane the other day, right? And I was flying. I've flown loads of times. And what they said on the announcement, and if you've ever been abroad, they'll always say this. You know, they show you the life jackets, say health and safety thing that they have to do before they fly, the plane takes off. They were doing that, and they said, make sure, in case of an accident or an emergency and we land in water, make sure you put the life jacket on yourself first before you put it on your children, right? Now that makes sense, because if you don't put it on yourself first, you can't protect the child. If you put the child first, you're going to drown, right? You put it on yourself first. It's common sense, right? So in Britain or any country, right, you protect your country first, right? And then once you're protected, now you put it on someone else. And this is the dilemma. This is what a lot of people, the masses, are upset with. They're like, we're putting it on other people first and not ourselves. So what does that look like in the end? Well, in the scenario of a child in a plane crash, the parent would be dead and the baby would just be alive but floating about, trying to find other people who are like that. Does that make sense? So I know I'm using a silly analogy, but it's sort of, you get it, right? The person who completely sacrifices will die. So I think people are sort of thinking, what's going on? Why are we putting people first? And it's not being selfish or racist or anything like that. It's like, no, this is you've got to protect yourself first. You have to, right? because you live here. This is your country. It's like if you went to another country, you respect them, and if you don't, I went to Spain, like I say, if you've got anyone who's disrespectful in Spain, and I like this about Spain, the police will not take no messing. They're not like the British police. They will not take no messing. You know, in England, when you see these people get these cameras and they're filming, these YouTubers filming the police and putting them on YouTube, trying to challenge them, right? And in England or Scotland or wherever, people are like, the police are like, okay, they put up with it. If you did that in Spain, you would be what they call nicked, arrested, right? And it wouldn't go down well, I'm telling you. You would not put a camera up to a police officer and try to challenge them, right? Different world. And because it's different values, because their values like, what, you taking the mick, mate? But in Britain, we're like, you're taking the mick and I'm going to let you. And that's what people's concerns are, because it's not about the immigration. It's got nothing to do with the people coming in. It's like, why is this being allowed to happen? So people aren't angry at immigration. They're not angry at people coming in. They're just trying to get away for whatever reason, right? It's not that. The problem is the government. The government's a word, right? The government is a word. The people, the humans that are put in power by the public, it's them. And if it's not them, it's someone behind them telling them what to do, right? Now, this isn't a massive amount of people who are doing this. It's a little tiny few people. And there's 8 billion human beings. Right. Interesting stuff. But, yes, people aren't happy. Let me know what you think. What's going on? What is going on? Don't make sense, does it? Doesn't make sense. Everything's backwards. Everything's lunacy. But anyway, I just want to share that with you. Hope it gives you a bit of an insight. So I explain the news in a way that's not... I'm not talking at you. I'm talking with you. I want a conversation about it. But yeah, these are some of the reasons why people are upset who live in that area. This isn't my opinion. I'm just wording it in a way. Everything I've looked at has came from the news. I'm just wording it in a more relaxed, friendly tone as human beings, not politically correct. Let's speak normal together. So again, keep your comments going. Tell me your thoughts. What do you think about it? How would you feel about it? What's the answer? Do you know the answer? If you do, I'm going to vote for you, right? Why can't you be a politician? Why can't you be an MP? Because there's people out there who are a lot more intelligent and a lot wise. Are you one of them? Put it in the comments. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later. And I'm sure there'll be more bad news coming up. But until then, God bless you. Remember, Jesus loves you.